I have started recording. All right, good. Should be good to go, I think. And of course, now my iPod is thinking really hard. All right, how are we doing for music? Does it sound okay? Volume's all right? Okay, it'll probably get a little bit louder here in a sec. All right, we're just gonna start tapping our toes. All right, heels up, right, left, right here. So today we're gonna do our normal. We're gonna do 40 seconds of work, 10 seconds transition, 3 exercises. Let's push. So we're going to do a lower body exercise. Then we're gonna do a lower body exercise combined with an upper body, and then we're gonna do just the upper body. Side, side, reach. So we should be getting a nice good dose of 50-50 upper and lower. All right, toes back. We're going to squeeze the shoulder blades. So we're starting to wake up the glutes, waking up the upper back. 8, 7, 4, 3, tap it to the side again, reach. It can be straight up or it can be out at a little bit of an angle. Whatever feels best for your shoulders today. 4, 3, knees up in front, we're going to reach and pull. So nice and tall, we're starting to brace our cores and keep our hips and spine neutral as we bring those thighs up. Hamstring curls right here, squeeze. Eight, 7, good, 4, 3. All right, hip hinge right here, just down and up. So nice and tall, our core is braced. So imagine we're wearing a corset. Wherever the hips go, the rest of the body follows. 4, 3, slow it down, take it down, 2, up, 2. So this is where we start to keep an eye on our knees. We make sure when we go down and we come up, we don't let them knock in. Down, good, speed it up, down and up, down, up. You can keep this as a hip hinge. We are still just warming up. Good, 4, 3, 2. All right, forward step and reach, forward step and reach. So weight shifting. 4 more. 3, 2. All right, we're gonna add that little bit of a turn. Forward step, little bit of a turn. Good, 4, 3, 2. All right, backward step, open and close at the chest. So if I turn, we're keeping our weight mostly in that front leg, and as we shift back, our body comes with. 2, overhead arm reach, reaching up. You can do I, so the letter I, or you can do the letter Y. 4, 3, 2. All right, grapevine, right, left, right here, grapevine. Now you can just double step touch if it's a little bit easier for you. Roll the shoulder. Working on that brain a little bit. We're gonna do 1 small, 1 big. Two more. All right, we're just gonna jog it out. Jog it out. Nice and easy. 4, 3, 2, All right, jumping jacks, out and in. So low impact or high, you decide. Good, 8, 7, 4, 3. All right, heel jog, option 1, heel jog. Option 2, you've always got that hamstring curl, but we make the movement nice and big. 4, 3, skaters, right, left, side step, add that little tap behind, reach. 4, 3, 2. All right, good, let's march it out. Grab a drink of water. I got a little feedback today. I don't know what's going on. My speaker really should be behind me, but I don't have enough room and the cord isn't long enough. So I'm like, that's not gonna work out so well. All right, so what we're gonna do is 40 seconds of a Romanian deadlift, 40 seconds of a deadlift row combination, and then 40 seconds of just rows. A lot of you have done this workout with me before. So, personally, I am only going to use one weight because I want to go heavy on my rows. You can do this with 2 and it'll work out just fine. So, we're going to do our deadlift. So if you've got your weights, you're going to hold them in front or behind or just one. Nice and tall, shoulders away from the ears. You're just going to push the hips back and come up nice and tall. So you'll notice I'm pushing my hips back so my hips are behind my knees, and then I bow. So you've got 40 seconds and your time is on. So we're just doing a nice good bow. So we don't want to keep them straight and go forward because then we're going to feel our toes dig into the ground and we're going to feel like we're falling over. This is our hip hinge from our warm-up. We just push our hips back, touch the wall behind us, and then come back up. So we're just folding at the hips, and then we're good to go. So we want to make sure we're not collapsing. So that's what happens a lot, especially if you're getting all the way to the floor. You're probably collapsing at your belly button and letting your chest collapse in and round. We want to stay very tall. Good. All right, we're going to add in the row. So we're going to bow, row, and then come back up. So we're combining with that deadlift. So I'm doing one arm. You can do both. You can do both. It's just I only have 115, so I have to do it single arm today. So if you want to, forward fold, row with both arms, and come up. And you're good to go. Yes? Yeah. Always an option. So the great thing is you can kind of make this work for you. If you've got lighter weights, do both arms at the same time. If you're like me and you've got a little bit heavier, just do one. Adds a little bit of a core challenge as well. Good. Short rest. Now we're only going to do rows. So no deadlift, just rows. 3, 2, and 1. Good. So now I'm just doing my rows with that arm. If you have both arms going, you can alternate right, left, especially if they're starting to get a little tired. This is something I didn't think ahead of. I didn't plan for it. But that's okay. So good. Just remember, we don't want to be upright like this. We're not going to be getting our back, and that's what we want. So if it's more comfortable to have one foot in front and have your hand on a chair or a table supporting you, go right ahead. So this is not good for our backs, and it's not good for the exercise either. We folded that hip. We're nice and tall. Good. Bring it up. All right, we're going to do that all the way through again, starting with our good deadlifts. 2 and 1. Good. So nice and tall. We just push the hips back. Weight is in the heels. So we fold at the hips and then we squeeze the glutes to stand up nice and tall. So if you think about it, talked about this before, cardboard box. It's easier to fold at the cardboard box where there's already that crease So that's what we're doing. We're folding at the crease in our hips and keeping everything nice and stiff, nice and tall. Good, 10 more seconds. So your core is braced, your hips are locked into your ribs, so they move at the same time. Good, short rest. And now we're gonna go back to our deadlift with our row. Single arm like me or both arms at the same time, you're good to go. All right, here we go. So row with our deadlift. So forward fold, nice and tall. So keeping that belly button braced. So we kind of push out on our tummies just a little bit, like somebody's gonna come poke us or somebody's gonna come tickle us. We're trying to engage those deep core muscles so you don't feel this in your back. You should feel this in your glutes and your hamstrings, not your low back. 5 more seconds. Good. Short rest, short transition, and we're gonna get ready to do just the rows. So both arms at the same time is great, not a problem. All right, forward fold. Now we're just doing our rows. So option again is to have one foot in front of the other. If you're really feeling it in your back today and it's feeling uncomfortable, grab a chair. Have a seat in your chair and do your forward fold that way, and you're doing good. But nobody should look like this. I don't want to see squishies. I want to see tall. You got 15 seconds to go. Now 10. After this, we're gonna do squats with some shoulders. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, bring it up. All right, grab a drink. We're gonna do squats, squat with an overhead press, and then just overhead presses. So grab a weight you feel comfortable doing overhead presses with. So we're gonna start out with just our squats in 3, 2, and 1. Good, just squats. You can hold the weight wherever you want. So remember, we are doing this twice. If you wanna just use one weight and do one side the first time, and then the other side the second time, you can. I'm holding my weights down right now, staying nice and tall like I'm picking up a couple of suitcases. So remember, we already did deadlifts, so we don't want to do our deadlifts like this. We don't want to do deadlifts, we want to do squats. We want to sit. And that may mean it's shallow, but we start with that deadlift, our little hip hinge, and then we push our hips back to sit in that chair. Good. So now we're going to bring the weights up to the shoulders, and we're going to squat and press towards the ceiling. 2 and 1. Good. So down, reach, down, and reach. I'm alternating because I grabbed some heavier weights today. You can do both at the same time. It's completely up to you, but down and up. Now, if your weights are a little heavy, you can also do what's called a push press, where it's a mini squat, and you use the momentum coming out of your squat to help push those weights up, right? Good. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Short rest. And we're just going to do overhead presses. If your arms are getting tired, alternate or do a side raise instead. 2 and 1. Good. So just overhead presses. Nice and steady. So if they're not liking the overheads, switch to a side raise and you're all right. I know not everybody's shoulders like going overhead. You can also do this as a balance challenge instead and stand on a balance beam and do this with no weights. So you just kind of have to figure out what's going to work best for you today and go with it. You're here, you're working out. That's all we need, right? 8 seconds to go. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Bring it down. Just relax. Shake it out. We're going back to just squats, giving those arms a break. 3, 2, and 1. Good. So just down and up. Now, if you need to, switch to body weight only. You can always grab your weights when it's time to add in the overhead presses. So the nice thing is you make this workout work. So listen to your body. Most of you know how you're going to feel tomorrow based on the workout. Good. Less than 20 seconds. So you're actually down to about 15. Nice, good squats. I'm going to switch to doing some narrows. I haven't done these in forever. Feels kind of good. Good. 5 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Get those weights ready. We're just going to do a nice, good squat to press. 3, 2, and 1. Good. So down and reach. Down and reach. So again, it can be nice and shallow. You don't have to do super deep squats. You can focus on your overhead presses or use the squat to kind of help propel those weights to the ceiling. Now, when we do our overhead presses, what are we not doing? We're not sticking our ribs out and arching our backs. That may mean that your overhead is out in front, and that's okay. Your overhead does not have to be perfectly overhead. Good. Short rest. Adjust weights or drop them if you need to, just not on your foot. We're getting ready. 2 and 1. Good. Overhead pressing. Again, if you want to make it a balance drill instead of an arm exercise, ditch the weights or use super light ones and balance beam stance, and you'll be good to go. Now I'm kind of wishing I'd grabbed my 5s, but this is okay, right? Yes. Everybody check your wrist position. Don't let your wrists knock in like this. Think about punching that ceiling with the flat part of your knuckles. 5 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Bring it down. Shake it out. Roll those shoulders. Give those hands a break. Switching to the next round of exercises. All right, so we are going to do lunges. You can do forward lunges, reverse lunges, or stationary, and just do one side and then the other. Lunges with a bicep curl, and then just bicep curls. So grab a weight for bicep curls. In 3, 2, 1. Lunges, lunges, lunges. So option 1 is just going in reverse. So you step back, you drop it down. Option 2 is that forward lunge. Now, if you have issues with your knees and the forward lunges do not feel good, do reverse lunges. Sometimes people do a forward lunge, and instead of stepping and dropping down, they step and they keep pushing forwards. We want to step forward and then drop the back knee towards the floor. Or step backwards and drop the back knee towards the floor. Good. Short rest. Now we're going to add in the bicep curl. I do the opposite arm. 2, 1. Good. So we do a lunge and we curl. So option 1 is to do the curl and the lunge at the same time. Option 2, lunge, do the curl at the top. So doing the lunge at the bottom makes it a little bit harder. You got to work on your balance a little bit more and get your brain to do 2 different things at the same time. For the curls, you can have palms facing in or palms facing up. 3, 2, and 1. Good. All right, now we're switching to just bicep curls. I'm switching to palms facing forwards, and I'm going to keep alternating. So I'm going to alternate right, left. You are welcome to do both at the same time. And if you feel your heart rate and your breathing are pretty high, you're welcome to add a heel tap or a march. Good, so nice, good tap. So the tap is just if you need to keep your feet moving. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. All right, relax those arms, little break. Going back to just lunges. If you need to set the weights down, go ahead. Forward or reverse, your time is on. So I'm gonna do forward for this round again, but do reverse lunges if it feels better. So we're just nice and tall. Shoulders are staying over our hips. Our weight is in our front heel. So sometimes we do our lunge and we try to push off of the front toe. I want you to push off of the heel that's in front. Or if you're doing reverse lunges, you still push off that heel that's in front. That's gonna get your glutes and it's gonna take pressure off of your knees. So even if it's small, good, short rest, short rest. We're gonna add in those bicep curls. 3, 2, 1, good. So lunge with a curl, forward or back. If your knees are bugging you, go back. This is just a little bit different. So remember, we're not just doing our warm-up lunges, we're not just shifting our weight. I want you to try to put that knee in the back and get it closer to the floor. It can still be a little one and still be good. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Shake it out. Nice, good rest. We're switching to just bicep curls. 3, 2, 1. Good. Up and down. Now, if you have lighter weights and you want a little challenge, right, left. This is called reciprocating. Up and down. So think about like the reciprocating saw. It goes forward and back. This one arm goes up at the same time the other arm is going down. But we control it. We don't just flop our hands. We control it. We're adding in a little power when we do this. So it's lifting a weight quickly. 3, 2, and 1. Good. All right, shake it out. Grab a drink. Keep those feet moving. Oh, I'm feeling my traps today. I don't know what's up with that meaty part of my neck. All right, next exercise. We're going to do glute squeezes, standing with a tricep kickback. So grab your weight, just one. We're gonna do one side and then we're gonna switch. So I'm just gonna demo if you've got a chair or something nearby. So you can have one foot in front, the other foot is gonna be back. You can have your hand on the thigh, on a chair, what have you. And we're gonna start just by doing a leg lift. Now notice I'm not shifting, right? I'm holding that leg lift, all right? 3, 2, 1. That's what we start with. You don't even have to use your weight for this one to start out. We're doing a nice good squeeze. So I've got my hand on my bar here. So I'm getting a leg workout on the leg I'm standing on, and then I'm just squeezing my glutes. Now make sure we're not upright and arching our back. So you're gonna have a little forward fold. Weight is in that front leg. 15 seconds to go, and we're gonna grab a weight and we're gonna add in a tricep kickback. So the leg we're standing on is definitely gonna get a workout. 3, 2, 1. Good. Grab a single weight. Option 1, lift, kickback. Lift, kickback. Option 2, lift and kickback at the same time, and your time is on. So this is going to be a little bit of balance, a little bit of control. So make sure we're not just flipping them back there. And again, you can do this without weights. You can absolutely do a tricep kickback with no weights, and you're good. But shoulders away from the ears. We don't want to let that arm go, and we don't want to kick it back, right? Lift and squeeze. Lift and squeeze. Anybody feeling the leg they're standing on? You should. Yes. 2 and 1. Good. Shake it out. Just tricep kickbacks. You can switch to a full stance if you want. 3, 2, 1. Good. Nice, good kickback. So no legs. Just a good kickback. If you want to really double whammy that leg you're standing on, you can stay in your split stance. Nice, good squeeze. So now we're focusing on the arms. Shoulders away from the ears. We don't want to let that upper arm swing, and we don't want to let our body turn. So we're getting core, holding our body steady, and getting our tricep, just reaching that hand back, straightening your elbow. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Shake it out. Give yourself a little break. We're going to switch sides. All right, let's start out with just our glute squeeze, just our lift. Now you can stay upright and just tap your toe back. So you just kind of do a little slide like we're at the ballet bar, and we're just sliding our toe back. You can add that forward fold, get a little bit more balance work on that standing leg, and just do a nice good squeeze. So notice I'm not going real high. I'm not going for a super high kick. I'm just focusing on squeezing my glutes on that side. Got about 7 more seconds, and we're gonna add in that tricep kickback. 2 and 1, good. Grab the weight for your kickback. And again, we're taking it back. So option 1 is a lift and then a kickback. Option 2 is the lift and the kickback at the same time, and your time is on. Now, if you notice your form is getting a little sketchy doing it the way I am, alternate. There's nothing wrong with it. So the goal is to focus on the muscles that you're trying to work. And if you're working on trying to maintain your balance, or you're feeling kind of wobbly, or your form is go ahead and switch to something, regress a little bit. There's no shame in regressing. I encourage progression, but there's no shame in going backwards a little bit too. 3, 2, and 1. Good, especially since I'm feeling my bum. All right, 5 more seconds, and we're going just for our tricep kickback. Just kickback. All right, here we go. So just kicking back. I switched to a hip width stance, pushing my hips back, and again, hand on a chair or a table for a little support, or hand on the thigh. That works too. If you're feeling like giving a double whammy to those legs, stay in your split stance. But remember, we're tall and we folded forwards, looking over the ledge. We want to see what's down the Grand Canyon, but we don't want to look too close. Good, 5 more seconds. Shoulder away from the ear. Lock it out. If your weights are light, they should be under control. Good. Set it down. Shake it out. All right, we are heading down to the floor. You can stay up if you want to. Yes, yes. We're gonna do chest presses with a bridge, and then we're gonna do just bridges. So, if you're staying up, if you're gonna be in a chair, you're going to do chest presses, leaning back in the chair. Then you're going to do a chest press, stand up, sit down, lean back, chest press, stand up, sit down, lean back, and then you're just gonna stand up and sit down. So instead of bridges, you'll be doing chair stands. Then we're going to do some abs down on the floor, all right? So, getting ready for our chest presses. So we're gonna take it all the way down, knees bent, feet flat. Or if you're in a chair, you're sitting towards the front of the chair, you're leaning back so your back is supported at the shoulders, and you're gonna do an incline chest press. So chest presses in 3, 2, and 1. Good, so just a nice good chest press. Just reach for the ceiling. You can do both at the same time or you can alternate. Yeah, normally I do the legs first. This time I'm doing upper body first. I'm messing with you. It's because I wrote it wrong. And apparently I also forgot to hit the button. So we're just gonna do a couple more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Short 10-second rest, and then we're gonna do a chest press and add in that glute bridge. And 3, 2, 1. Good. So I'm going to do a chest press and then a glute bridge. Chest press, glute bridge. So press up and down, then lift up and down with the glutes. Good, about 15 more seconds, and then we're gonna do just the bridges. And you can put the weights in the crease of your hips if you want to, or just set them down to the side. Good, short rest. Weights go in the crease of the hips, 1 weight or 2, or set the weights down. 3, 2, 1. Good, just glute bridges, just lift and lower. So you want to keep those, if you've got your weights, you want to keep your hands on them to make sure they don't accidentally roll away. And you want to keep them kind of in the crease at your pelvis and not let them roll all the way up to your belly button. Good, 15 seconds. And we're going to go through those 3 exercises again. 2 and 1. Good. Short rest. Grab your weights, and we're going to do our chest presses. So round 2, 2 and 1. Good. Nice good chest press. Again, both arms at the same time, or you can alternate. If they're starting to get kind of tired, go ahead and do some alternating. So inhale as you lower the weights, exhale as you push up. And as you push to the ceiling, think about pushing yourself into the floor like you want to make an indentation. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Short rest, and we're going to add in a glute bridge. So we'll do a bridge and then a chest press. Good. Time is on. So 1 chest press, 1 glute bridge. Now you can do a chest press and a glute bridge at the same time, but it's up to you. I like to alternate on this one. Just personal preference. Good. So shoulders are still away from the ears. Elbows are lower than your shoulders. So they're either all the way in by your side, pointing down towards your feet, or they're down at an angle so that they are lower than your shoulders. And your head to your elbows makes a triangle. Good. Bring it down and rest. Just glute bridges with or without weights. 3, 2, 1. Good. Lift and lower. Nice, good glute bridge. So try to take the hamstrings out of the equation. Push through the heels and think about pushing the hips up. Push your glutes up, trying to open that crease in the front of your body to try to get a pretty straight line from your glutes to your knees. And keep an eye on the knees. Try not to let them wobble in and out. So track them. Your knees go between your big toe and your pinky toe, so they kind of track. Good. Set the weights down. Make sure they're off to the side. Carefully come to a sitting position. You can grab a little bit of water if you need to. Just don't go from lying on your back to standing up right away. crawl to wherever your water is. All right, so our last exercise is abs and everybody's favorite Russian twists. So we're just gonna do a crunch. Then we're going to do a crunch with a rotation, and then we're gonna go back and we're just gonna do our Russian twists. So it's a lot of abs. Feel free to rest when you need to, and you'll be golden. So on your back side, knees bent, try to have your feet flat if you can, and we're just gonna go back and forwards. So you have 40 seconds and your time is on. So just back and forwards. You can have your hands lightly behind your thighs if you need to for a little support. You can have them at your chest, or you can even add in a little overhead press. I'm not using any weights. I'm just adding a little reach so that I make sure that I sit up nice and tall. Good, you got about 10 more seconds and we're gonna add in that Russian twist. So shoulders away from the ears, chest is open and lifted. Good, you guys rest. We're gonna go back, rotate, rotate, sit tall. So back, turn, turn, sit tall. So your time is on. So we go back, we rotate, and then we sit tall. So we go into the back position and we add our little Russian twist, and then we come back up. I'm taking my knees together because I want to make sure that I'm rotating at my torso and I'm not wringing out the dish rack. You have 15 seconds to go, and then we're going to try to do just Russian twists. And I know you're probably already starting to feel your abs and maybe your hips a little bit. 2 and 1. Good. So I want you to take this rest period. Take the rest. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Just Russian twists. Just Russian twists. Good. So you can do, if you're really feeling it already, which wouldn't surprise me, you're welcome to do like 8 or 10 twists and rest. And then go back and do 8 or 10 more. But we want to make sure we're not looking down at our hips and our chin's not touching our chest. We're up, we're open. Do your twists, rest, yeah, and then take it back. You can also try changing your foot position. Taking your feet out sometimes helps a little bit. 3, 2, and 1. Good, nice, good rest. Take a break. We're going to go back through those 3 exercises again. In 3, 2, and 1. Good. We're just going back and forwards. So if you're sitting in a chair, it's the exact same thing. Your hips are towards the front of the chair, your feet stay flat, and you lean back to the back of the chair and then you sit up tall. If you want to add that overhead reach, you can, but it's optional, not required. Good, 10 more seconds, and we're gonna look at adding in those Russian twists. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, nice, good rest. Take that break. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Take it back, turn, turn, sit nice and tall. Again, check your leg position. Sometimes taking the legs out a little bit will make it a little bit easier for you because you're not using those hip flexors as much. They're staying a little bit more open, so they get a little chance to relax. Good, less than 15 seconds. Three, 2, and 1. Good, nice, good break. Nice, good rest. Enjoy it, because you got 5 more seconds of it. And then we're flipping for our Russian twists. 2 and 1. Good. So just try to rotate And again, I'm squeezing my knees together to make sure that I'm not doing the wobbly knees. It can just be from knee to knee. Doesn't have to be hip to hip. You can try reaching for the floor if your spine is okay with it. If it's not, don't worry about it. Just do what you can. Gentle range of motion, controlling those hips and that upper body. Less than 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Nice and tall. Just relax. Sit cross-legged. You can lie on your back. Stretch it out a little bit. All right. So since we're sitting, I'm not going to have you lie on your backs again. So if you are lying on your back, come up to a sitting position. So just a quick stretch. We're going to start out with our butterfly stretch. So start with your feet out, farther away, and work on getting that pelvis into a neutral position. So if you shift your weight side to side, directly under your bum, you should feel your ischial tuberosities. You should feel those bony spots. You don't want to feel like you're sitting on your tailbone or the back of your pelvis. You want to find those points nice and tall. Then you can start pulling in on those feet, but keep that nice tall posture. So it depends on the person. So some of it depends on flexibility and some of it depends on your core strength. So nice and tall. And it also depends on your shoes. Sometimes your shoes make it a little bit more challenging to do this. So all right, good. We're just going to sit cross-legged. We're going to sit nice and tall, hand on the floor. You're going to lean and you're going to reach for the ceiling. Hand can be up, it can be on your head, or it can be on your shoulder, but we just want to lift the ribs, drop the hips, get a nice good side stretch. Good. Switch. Other side, same thing. So nice, good lean. So it's less about how close your shoulder gets to the floor and more about how high your ribs go and how low your hips go. Good. We're going to bring it in. We're going to take our hands. We're going to squeeze our shoulder blades together, and we're going to try to turn our fingers to point back behind us. We're going to place them on the floor, and we're going to push with the hands. We're going to open our chest. We're going to open our chest. So if they're not pointing directly behind you, it's okay. If they're pointing out to the side, you're all right as long as you are squeezing the shoulder blades together. We're stretching our chest, we're stretching our biceps, and we're stretching our forearms. So we don't want to be hunkered down like this. We want to lift. So open up that chest. Enjoy the sunshine because it's only here for a few months. All right, good. Relax. Let's circle those wrists. Good. Other direction. All right, we're going to come up to half kneeling. If you need to come to sitting or standing, please do, but take your time. So option 1 is your lovely tuck your tail feathers and do your hip stretch. So this is option 1. Option 2 for some of my yogis, we're going to take the other foot farther forward because we're going to go into your runner's stretch. So don't do this if it's uncomfortable or you feel like you're going to fall over or anything like that. So we're just opening up our stretch. So this is option 2. Your tucked pelvis is option 1, and you're great. Not a problem at all. All right, good. We're going to carefully switch to the other side and do the exact same thing. So your first option, sitting or standing or half kneeling, we just tuck that tail feather and we just push that knee forwards. Your hips should still be directly under your shoulders for this one. They shouldn't be behind. Keep them under. Your option 2, I'm pretty flexible for the most part, so I take my foot a little farther out so that I can get a deeper stretch. I still try to keep my hips and everything neutral. I don't want to sag and push it towards the floor. I want to keep it neutral. So some of this depends on your hip flexibility. Some of it depends on your inner thigh flexibility as well. So you may feel okay back here, but you don't feel so good in the other hip. All right, good. Let's carefully bring it back. Now you can sit, you can stand, you can kneel, whatever feels better for you. Open and close the bellows. Ribs are tucked. We're just gonna open. This is our doorway stretch. If you've got a hand on either side of the doorway and then you step forward a little bit, nice good doorway stretch. So you should feel a stretch kind of right in here. Good, and now we're gonna bring the elbows in, hands to the shoulders, chin stays neutral. We walk those fingers back. Good, bring it down. Relax the shoulders, ear to shoulder. Turn and look at your armpit. If that feels okay, nod your head yes. So it's a tilt, a turn, and a flexion extension. Good, roll the chin to the chest, look forwards, ear to shoulder, opposite side. If that feels all right, turn and look at your armpit. So it's kind of a tilt and a tuck. And if that's okay, nod your head yes. Good, roll the chin to the chest, bring the head up, couple deep breaths in right here. And down. Good, one more. All right, you are all done. Woohoo! All right, what am I doing? I'm stopping.